Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Indrani Damodar Raut, working as Assistant Professor in Rajaram Bapu College of Pharmacy, Kasega. Today I am going to deliver that is the importance of various unit operation process in pharmaceutical industry. So I am here highlighting the different unit operation which we using is in a pharmaceutical industry. So what are the learning objectives? The learners will be able to understand the unit process, conceptualize with physical and chemical process. The learners will be able to understand the unit operation with examples and highlighting the classification of the unit operations. Next, what is meant by unit process? Unit process is one or more grouped operations in a manufacturing system that can be defined and separated from others. Or it is defined as the one in which several unit operations are combined in a sequence to achieve the objective of chemical and the physical process. So what are the examples of unit process? Two types of the unit process. First one is the physical process and second one is the chemical process. So here we understand what is meant by the physical process. So I am here taking one example, that is manufacturing of the tablet. So in this process, the whatever the excipients drug, that first you have to weigh. After that these are passing through the sieves. After passing through the sieve, then you have to dry that material. Then either you go for direct compression or it is either you go for the wet granulation and the dry granulation techniques. So that you have to convert. After that you go for the compression and then coating. So all these are the process when the raw material is converted into the finished product. During this, all these steps here required, and that each and every step here we called as the unit operations. So here unit operations, before seeing the unit operation, unit processes means what? The whatever the to carry out the raw material is converted into the finished product. Here raw material is the drug and excipient, that converting into the tablet dosage form. So each and every step here required, and that each and every step having the different process or the different equipment, different operations are used. That concept here we called as the unit operation. And here this is the physical process, example of the physical process. Next example here we see, that example is the chemical process. So what is meant by chemical process? Means by using the chemicals, here you are to converting the raw material or the starting product to the end product. So I am here taking the example, that is production of the paracetamol from the benzene. So you know that the students, the benzene, from that benzene, if you are adding the dilute nitric acid and sulfuric acid, and that you have to keep for 1 hour, that benzene is converted into the nitrobenzene, and that process is called as the nitration. The second one, then whatever the nitrobenzene is prepared, through this nitrobenzene here you have to add the aluminum and sulfuric acid. Again you have to keep for the 10 hours. The processes occur, that process is reduction, and nitrobenzene is converted into the para-aminophenol. And the third step, that is the third process, is that para-aminophenol in the presence of the acetic anhydride and the sulfuric acid, the process is called as the acetylation, and that para-aminophenol is converted into the paracetamol. So here in this chemical process, our starting material is a benzene, and that is converted to the final product is the paracetamol. In this chemical process, here different unit processes are involved, like nitration, reduction and acetylation. All these called as the unit process. And any one out of that, any one, suppose if you have to perform the nitration, reduction, acetylation, in every process here the different steps are required for the conversion of that product. That step is called as the unit operation. So each process involved a number of unit operation. So I am here taking the example, that is if benzene is converted into the nitrobenzene, then the process is called as a nitration, and to carry out the nitration, the different here required the reagents, then here you have to heat it, then evaporation, then recrystallization. So all these example of the unit operation. Likewise, the reduction and acetylation also required the different unit operation, and finally we converting into the benzene to the paracetamol. So this is the chemical process. Next, the one that is the unit operations. So already you know that the unit processes, according to that, each unit process frequently consists of the fewer number of distinct individual steps, and that each step is called as the unit operation. And each unit operation is based on one of the type of the scientific principle. These are not the same. Depending on their scientific principle, these all the unit operations are the different. So unit operations gives idea about different equipments, its design, material of construction, operation, calculation of different various physical parameters, then energy, law of energy, conservation of energy, then material balance, energy balance. All these concepts are used is in the unit operations. So this is the, I'm here highlighting one question. So depending on that, what are the example of the pharmaceutical unit operations? So pause the video, write down your answer in your notebook, and so continue with this question. I'm here highlighting the different examples of the pharmaceutical unit operation. So classification of the unit operation having the different unit operations, like first one is the flow of fluid, heat and mass transfer, filtration, centrifugation, side reduction, mixing of solid, extraction, distillation, evaporation, crystallization, drying. All these are the example of the pharmaceutical unit operation, or it is also called as the classification of pharmaceutical unit operation. So in this presentation, I am highlighting only two pharmaceutical unit operations, like the side reduction and the drying. So let's move the next slide, that is the side reduction. What is meant by side reduction? It is the unit operation in which reduction of the material to coarse particle or to fine powder before formulated into the suitable dosage form. In simple language, to reduce the size of the particle. That concept here, that unit operation here we called as the size reduction. In this size reduction, the different mechanisms are involved, like cutting, compression, impact, attrition, and impact and attrition. And depending on this mechanism of size reduction, here different equipments are available. So depend, if the mechanism is cutting, then that equipment is called as the cutter mill. If the mechanism is compression, then the equipment which is used is called as the roller mill. If the mechanism is impact, then the equipment name is the hammer mill. If the mechanism is the attrition, then the equipment which we are using, that we called as the colloid mill and the roller mill. And last one, if the equipment which is having both the mechanism like impact and attrition, then the example of equipments like ball mill, fluid energy mill. These are the examples of the side reduction equipments, and each and every equipment having the reduction of the particle size is different. If you are involving the cutting, then the size of the particle is 100 to 80,000 micron. If it is compression, then 50 to 10,000 micron. If you are using the impact, then that equipment is hammer mill and the size of the particle is 50 to 8,000 micron. Attrition 1 to 50 micron, we get the particle size. And if you are using the ball mill, fluid energy mill, and having the mechanism like impact and attrition, then we get the particle sizes in between 1 to 2000 micron. Next, move the different equipments. So I am here highlighting the cutter mill, hammer mill, fluid energy mill, and the ball mill. Cutter mill, in this mill the cutters are present is in a between, depending on the cutter. If these are attached to the motor, when you can start the equipment, then that rotor should get rotated. Along with that, here the different nibs are attached to that rotor, and automatically the cutting mechanism should get occur. Here three parts, that is the feed. Second, in the middle, here the cutters are available, and last you have to collect is in a container. And through the screen, the cutting material you have to collect. Second one is the hammer mill. In this hammer mill, the hammers are attached to the motor, and when you can start the motor, that hammer should be rotated along with the shaft, and the impact principle should get occur, and through this impaction the material should be reduce the size of the particle, and at the bottom you can collect the materials. Third one is the ball mill. These are working is on the principle of the impact and attrition. It is the hollow metal cylinder. These are working is on the, in this hollow metal cylinder the different shaped balls are available, and these balls, due to depending on the critical speed, and at that speed, by using the calculation of 1 upon 2 pi under root g divided by r minus capital R minus small r, you can calculate the critical speed, and at that critical speed both impact and attrition should get occur, and here the reduction of the size of the particle you get. But one disadvantage is this ball mill is the noisy one. So at the correct speed, not low and not high speed, only these are working is on the correct speed. If you can keep the speed at a low, then only the balls are roll over with each other, the materials, and no any mechanism should get occur. And if you can increase the speed, Then due to the centrifugal forces, that particle should be thrown to the wall of the ball mill and no any mechanism should get occur. So you have to keep the critical speed. Then you get the reduction of the size of the particle. And last one, that is the fluid energy mill. These are also working on the impact and attrition. And here the collision of the particle should get occur. Through the collision, reduction is occur, and finally you get the reduced material. So if you can get the reduction, here one equipment I have highlighted that we called as the mechanical sieve shaker equipment. In this equipment, here you have to reduce, separate the size of the particle depending on the sieve size. Next one, that is the last one, that is the drying. Drying, it is the process of removal of the small amount of water or any liquid from the material by the application of heat. In the different equipments which we are using for the drying is the hot air oven, spread dryer, tray dryer, fluidized bed dryer, and the freeze dryer. Mostly in our laboratory we are using the hot air oven. These are the working is on the principle of the conduction and convection. Through this mechanism, the water material here you have to keep that should be the heated one, and the removal of the water should get occur, and finally we get the dry material. Tray dryer mostly using it in industry because the different batch size here we required the different trays are available, and each and every batch you can keep at once, and therefore loading and uploading is easy by using such a tray dryer techniques. Third one is the spread dryer. Here the spread dryer it is called as a pneumatic dryer because it is a pneumatic one, therefore it is the atomization, then drying and recovery. All these principle, all these unit operation are occurred is in a one dryer, and therefore the name is given is a pneumatic one. Here the atomization, depending on the nozzle, you can get the flow of the fluid should get occur. Then automatically the hot air should be passing along with the fluid, therefore drying is also achieved. And finally cyclone separator is attached to the cyclone separator. You have to collect the, depending on the size you can collect the particles. And last one, that is the fluidized bed dryer. Fluidized bed dryer mostly using it in industry for to dry the material, as well as the fluidized bed coaters are also available, granulators are also available. These are also working on the principle of the fluidization. The settling velocity of the particle is less than the velocity of the granules or air, and therefore that particle should be float, and therefore fluidization should get occur, and then the particle should be automatically get dry. So this is the fluidized bed dryer working is on the principle of the fluidization. So I am here highlighting the different unit processes, unit operations, and the in short the what are the classification, and I am here highlighting the two classification, that is the side reduction and the drying. In my next video I will explain the another type of the unit operations. Thank you.